As we say in Memphis, what's up, man? I'm LJ Abraham. I'm an activist, a community organizer, and most importantly, a Memphian. I'm here today to speak on behalf of some of the families that have been impacted by the Memphis Unsafe Task Force. Before I get to them, I'd like to remind everyone that Memphis is no stranger to police brutality and the use of excessive force. In Memphis, we don't have to ask who Tyre Nichols was. We live with that memory every day. But for those of you across the country who may not know his name, you should. Tyre Nichols was beaten by Memphis police in January 2023 and died from the injuries inflicted on him. His story changed our city forever. After that tragedy, many of us dedicated ourselves to fighting for real police reform in Memphis. We were told meaningful change was coming. The DOJ investigated MPD and released a report documenting serious constitutional and systemic failures, from excessive force to unlawful stops to discriminatory policing. It laid out a roadmap for reform, but those reforms never came. Instead of implementing the changes our community was promised, our city saw something very different: a growing federal law enforcement presence with agents deployed into our neighborhoods under the banner of public safety. For many Memphians, it has felt less like reform and more like another layer of fear and intimidation. That fear and intimidation has taken the form of federal, state, and local occupation carried out by a multi-agency task force that includes the National Guard, the FBI, the DEA, Homeland Security, ICE, Tennessee Highway Patrol, Shelby County Sheriff's Office, and the Memphis Police Department, just to name a few. Today, we remember those victims of this occupation. We honor their lives and we honor the families who continue to carry the unimaginable burden of seeking answers, demanding accountability, and refusing to let their loved ones be forgotten. Some of those families are here on stage with me today. Darren Pegram was working to rebuild his life, attending church and holding a job at Burger King. On May 13th, the task force came to his workplace to serve a warrant over a missing document for a court-ordered course that he had already completed. After the shooting, officers claimed that Darren pointed a gun at them. They later changed their story, saying that he reached for a gun in his waistband. Witnesses have disputed that account. Tyron Johnson was an aspiring musician from Nashville with big dreams. He was preparing to attend HVAC school so he could join his family business building affordable housing, a legacy his grandfather hoped Tyron would one day carry on to help Memphis families achieve home ownership and build generational wealth. On the 4th of July, Tyron came to Memphis to perform his music. He planned to return home that night, but after a friend's car broke down, they decided to stay downtown. Tyron never made it home. He was shot and killed by members of the Tennessee National Guard. Officials say they're responding to a report of shots fired and that Tyron turned while holding the gun. His family disputes those accounts and continues to demand transparency and the release of any and all footage available. The administration points to more than 10,000 arrests as proof that its approach is working. But what those numbers don't tell you is that many of those arrests have been for nonviolent misdemeanor offenses, often stemming from pretextual traffic stops rather than violent crimes. After Tyre was killed, our community fought for meaningful reform. Memphis passed ordinances to limit pretextual traffic stops because we know those encounters too often led to unnecessary harm, particularly in Black and brown communities. Those local reforms were later overridden by the Republican supermajority in Nashville. Boo! That's why we need leaders like Justin J. Pearson in Washington. We need someone who will fight to protect the civil rights and support policies that prevent unnecessary and discriminatory policing while investing in the things that actually make communities safer over the long term. Youth intervention programs, affordable housing, good paying jobs, quality education, mental health resources, and modern infrastructure. So today I ask every veteran and every member of this community who opposes the occupation of our city to stand with us. Stand for transparency, stand for accountability, stand for the families still waiting for answers, continue demanding an end to the National Guard occupation in Memphis, and use every platform, every meeting, and every meaningful conversation to tell the story until our city is no longer ignored. We cannot accept silence, we cannot accept secrecy, and we cannot allow our fear to become the price of living in our own neighborhoods. If we continue to raise our voices together, they cannot continue to ignore us. No justice. No justice.
Thank you so much, LJ. We must end the occupation of our community. This administration's overreach has been devastating for these families. And many of us knew what was going to happen. Before the National Guard or any of these law enforcement folks came, federal law enforcement came, we knew that we would lose young black folks to this federal occupation. And our worst fears have become reality. And so as we commit to the cause, let us remember these beloved families whose lives have been changed forever. Forever. It's not just headlines to a family who's had to go to the funeral home. It's not even just our slogans to families who will never see a loved one again at Thanksgiving or at Christmas. What's lost isn't just a Memphian and a member of our community, it's the memories that will never be. And for the beloved families that we have here with us, who are watching online, we got to let them know that we carry them, and we will continue to carry them in this struggle and in this fight forever. Let us pray. God of everything, we come to you first with thanksgiving, for you woke us up this morning. You started us on our way, and we are deeply appreciative of that blessing. God, we ask a special prayer of healing, of hope, of kindness over each and every one of the loved ones who have lost someone due to this Memphis Unsafe Task Force and this Trump administration's unfair occupation of our city. We ask that you meet them at the point of their needs, their wants, their desires, that you might wipe the tears from their eyes, that you might remind them that they are never alone, and even right now that there's a 1,000-person army praying for them, praying their strength in the Lord, praying their hope in healing, praying that justice might come forth. God, we believe you to be a just God. We believe you to be a fair God, and we believe that you have given us these God hands, these God feet, these God hearts, these God minds, in order that we might do your work. So God, let us leave here fighting for liberation for everybody. Let us use our hands, our hearts, our minds, our bodies, our spirits to fight for liberation and the end of this occupation. This we pray in the Christian faith in the name of Jesus, but in whatever faith in which you have, in the name of that entity, all powerful, all wonderful creator, and together as a family of faithful believers marching toward justice, we say amen, amen, amen. Thank you. In the occupation.
Let's give them another big hand tonight. Hi, I'm Dr. Stacy Spencer. I'm the senior pastor of New Direction, and we welcome you. Would you look at somebody beside you and say, you're welcome in this place? I stand here tonight as a citizen, as a servant leader of this city, as a watchman on the wall. And, you know, churches are nonpartisan, but the pastor still has a mouth. And I'm here tonight to support a prophet. Do y'all believe that there's a prophet in the city of Memphis by the name of Justin J. Pearson? Let's give it up for Justin tonight. Listen, can I tell you something? I just got off a train this morning. I came from Chicago. I had to go see it, y'all. I had to go to President Barack Obama's Presidential Center. And I tell you, when I went in there, Memphis, when I went in there, I immediately felt like, okay, this is where the real America's been hiding. I saw people of all various races and nationalities and creeds and faiths walking around together. The civility overwhelmed me. People were like, no, you go first. No, you go first. It was just such a sweet aroma in their place. But what stood out the most, Mikkel Lowry, was this, is when I heard President Obama saying over the loudspeaker, yes, we can. Yes, we can. How many remember we were energized by that slogan? We were energized. America came together. And I still believe that, yes, we can. And he didn't say, yes, he can. He didn't say, yes, they can. He said, what? Yes, we can. So I got back on that train. I got off this morning, and I got one question for this house. Is there a prophet in Memphis? This is a 3,000-year-old question, and I'm reminded in the Old Testament, King Jehoshaphat was getting ready to go to war, and he and Ahab came together, and all of the yes men were surrounding King Jehoshaphat and Ahab, and they said, yes, go fight in Iran. Yes, go do all the wars you want to do. You're going to win. And Jehoshaphat, he looked at Ahab, he said, is there not one prophet left in this city? He said, there's one, but I hate him, because he never prophesies anything good. He always prophesies about those AI plants that are poisoning the air and the water in Memphis. He has the nerve to talk about unsafe task force. I hate him. We got one true prophet left, but he never prophesies what I want to hear. So I'm asking Memphis tonight, is there not a prophet in Memphis? Yeah, there's one. There's one that's not afraid to speak truth to power. There's one. There's one that hadn't been bought out by big companies. There's one. There's one that's not taking money under the table. There's one. There's one not afraid to speak truth to power. And he's here tonight. Listen to this. Now, I heard some woman named Marsha talking about we're having a socialist gathering tonight. Let me define the term socialist. They tell me a socialist is somebody who thinks people ought to be fed, healed, and housed. Let me check my Bible real quick. Let me check. Matthew 25 said, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was naked, you clothed me. When I was in prison, you visited me. Who said that? Jesus said that. So is Jesus a socialist? Well, daggone it, I must be a socialist too. Because if helping people and housing people and helping people to be healed is wrong, then count me wrong. How many in here tonight believe that we're standing on the right side? Now watch what God is doing. They looked at the only, watch this, look what God is doing. Can I talk just a little bit? They looked at the only black congressional seat in Tennessee and carved it into 3 districts. They stretched it clear up to Clarksville, Tennessee, thinking they were watering us down. But they didn't understand something. They didn't understand something about a prophet. Andre, when you stretch a prophet's district, you stretch a prophet's reach. I need y'all to reach your hand out and say, they just stretched our reach. Watch this. Because the word says, do not touch my chosen people and do not harm my prophets. They sold Joseph as a slave, and God took that same man from the auction block to the second highest office in the empire, from the pit to the palace, and from the prison to the podium. They meant it for evil, but what they meant for evil, Memphis, they turned it out for our good. Because I see God doing a thing. He's going to put 3 radical disruptors in the Congress. All right, I gotta go. So don't tell me Memphis is finished. This is the city of Ida B. Wells, who told the truth when the truth could have get you killed. This is the city where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. poured out his last breath. Memphis buries prophets, but God raises them back up. Justin, you may feel like a prophet has no honor in his hometown, but you are not alone. I need you to look around this room tonight, Justin. You're not alone. I need everybody to stand there with this prophet and stand up real quick and high five your neighbor and say, there's a prophet in the house. Watch this. They threw the Tennessee 3 out of the people's house and they came back. They divided our seat into 3, but I've got prophetic vision tonight and I see 3 empty seats for 3 more disruptors. There was another disruptor, another prophet they didn't like. His name was Jesus. They slandered him. They sealed him in a borrowed tomb with government guards, National Guard at the door. But 3 days later, he got up. Somebody say he got up. And if he got up, Memphis can get up. Look at your neighbor and say, if he got up, Memphis can get up. So here's the assignment. Early voting opens up today. The polls are live right now. You will not sit down. You will not shut up. You will walk out of this room tonight and go cast that vote and tell Nashville, you ain't running nothing in Memphis. They ask, is there a prophet in Memphis? Yeah, we got one. He's got an afro. He likes to run around. He likes to speak truth to power. We got one. So let me hear it one more time, Memphis. Can we protect our vote? Yes, we can. Can we protect our prophets? Can we take back what they tried to steal from us? We, the people, united, will never be defeated. I'm from Memphis, man. What you know about me? Big GLOVOTE. Go vote, Memphis.
Good evening, family, friends, kin, and supporters. I told Pastor, don't come out here and show out because I got to come behind him. Now I got to throw away this speech and start over. Look, I wish there was a mirror on this wall behind me so y'all can see how good y'all look. I wish y'all can see what I'm seeing when I look out into this audience. Y'all look good. The pastor just came up here and said that our brother Justin was a prophet. But I want to add a little something to that. Now, he's a prophet, sure enough, but he also an activist. Now look at him. When you got an activist that know how to get out there and beat these pavements, and he got God on his side, baby, it ain't nothing we can't do. I'm Gail Tyree. I'm an activist, organizer, labor and community, and even sometime in the church. I've been in this game 40 years. And I wasn't going to say how long I was in this game because later I was going to lie and say I wasn't but 39. But I've been in the game 40 years. And I've often wondered, when I sit down from labor, who's going to pick up the torch? But I want y'all to know, boy, we got some heavy hitters in this room. Let me tell you something. I got 2 young ladies, and I'm going to call their name, and they need to come on this way because I got something to say. Ayanna Webster. Girl, bring it front and center. And Nikki Taylor. Woo! We're on this stage. And see, every time I do this, I'll be about to cry. I ain't gonna do it tonight, though. But look, historically, labor normally does not endorse in a primary. So us standing here tonight, this is history. We are getting ready. We are getting ready. We are getting ready to send us an activist to Congress. And I asked these ladies to come here because they have worked so hard in this primary to get an endorsement from the United Campus Workers chapter of CWA. And this is higher education. She out there beating that pavement. In addition, Jayani is the executive director currently of Local 3866 of CWA. And she is standing in solidarity with the United Campus Workers in endorsing our brother, Justin Pearson. Now, I ain't got but 3 minutes, but I'm gonna act like I'm a preacher. I'm gonna take me by the extra one. I'm gonna throw a couple of Jesuses in there just to make it all right. As a kid growing up, the one thing I learned is that if you wanna enjoy a good fight, don't stand on the sidelines. If you wanna have a story about a good fight, everybody in my hood know you jump in. And look at him. And when you jump in, don't be trying to figure out what's going on. Just jump in and start swinging. And that's what we doing up here. CWA, we jumping in and we swinging.
That's right. That's right.
And I want to say to labor, hear me good, all of labor. Jump in. If you're in a union, jump in and start swinging. Because I promise you one thing. When we win, when we whip them, okay, we in church. Okay. When we win, and we will win.
Yes, we will.
And we start talking about how hard we fought to send our activists to Congress in District 9. Baby, the fighters, the story we gonna tell gonna be different from the spectators. The story we gonna tell gonna look different than the people that's gonna comment on social media about what woulda, coulda, shoulda happened. We gonna tell them what really happened. What we gonna tell them is that, hey, we fought. And when we fight,
we win.
when we fight,
We win.
by God, we win in this one. I wanna yield my other 3 minutes just to give Nikki a minute to say something about the United Campus Workers.
I will tell y'all I don't have anything prepared, so bear with me. But United Campus Workers is the wall-to-wall union for the colleges for higher ed. Our chapter here at University of Memphis holds 400 members. Our chapter across Tennessee holds about 4,000. And today we have officially announced our endorsement for Justin Pearson. Yes. For any event that UCW has held, Justin has been there. For any member of UCW that needed to speak as a constituent to him, he has answered the phone, he has answered the email, he has been there. He supports labor, he supports the people. He will win this election. And I'm gonna leave with this. Show us what democracy looks like. Show us what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Thank y'all. Y'all fired up yet? I am feeling so good to be in Memphis. Listen, we got all my favorites in one room. AOC, Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, Summer Lee is in Memphis, man. My name is State Senator Charlene Oliver, and thank you. I represent the great city of Nashville, Senate District 19, and I did not come to the Tennessee legislature to make friends with billionaires and play footsie with the Republicans. I came to fight for my people, just like Representative Justin Pearson. See, Representative Pearson and I came into the Tennessee General Assembly together in 2023 as part of a new class of young legislators, not as career politicians, but as community organizers ready to change the game. And that's why I'm supporting Justin Pearson in this race. See, Justin and I are cut from the same cloth. See, his mama is an educator. My mama is a public education teacher. His daddy is an ordained minister. My daddy is an ordained minister. He's here somewhere tonight. Shout out to my daddy in the audience. Yeah, there you go. See, he grew up in a house full of boys, and I grew up in a house full of girls, sisters. So you already know we can fight. So our paths actually first crossed back in 2024 in Mason, Tennessee. We both saw a small rural black community under attack by the racist Republicans who were threatening to remove their own town charter and take control of their water source so a corporation could expand its footprint. And I remember getting back to Nashville, being in my garage, coming back from a community meeting in Mason, and my phone rang, and it was Justin Pearson. And y'all know how he answered the phone. Hey, it's Justin Pearson, you know, he gets all happy. And he was calling to update me about what he was doing with NAACP and next steps and how we work together. And that's exactly what the kind of congressman that I know that Justin is gonna be. Not waiting on permission to solve problems or show up for a community in need. His opponents keep claiming that he's never passed a bill in the state legislature. How's he gonna serve in Congress and be effective? So let me go ahead and just clear this one for him. So when I ran for the state Senate 4 years ago, I caught the same criticism. You never held an elected office. What makes you think you can skip the line and go straight to the state Senate? You're too young. Wait your turn. Activists can't be legislators. And my answer to that has always been, you don't need to be elected to be a public servant. You don't need to have a title to lead. And you don't need to be effective when you already have the receipts. Because before Justin ever had a title, he had a proven track record. He took on Valero Energy and he won, saving the Memphis aquifer from crude oil pollution. Before Justin ever had a title, he was the only elected official who took on Sterilization Services of Tennessee for pumping ethylene oxide into the air that neighbors breathe, and he got that plant shut down. And even today, he's the only elected official in this race who has boldly stood up to the racist, bigoted Elon Musk and his XAI data center. And I know all of this because myself, I've stopped major developments from paving over slave burial grounds of Nashville. I've challenged Trey Hargett and the Republicans twice in federal court and won. I was the only legislator in Nashville who stood up to Elon Musk when he brought his butt to my city trying to put an underground tunnel straight through black and brown neighborhoods in my district. And when it came time for Memphis, when the Republicans came for Memphis's congressional seat in the special session, I took the ultimate stand and stood on my desk in protest on the Senate floor. And I held up a sign that said, "No Jim Crow 2.0." So Nashville got your back. Thank you. Thank you. Justin and I didn't build our reputations from Instagram followers. We built our organizations from the ground up. He built MCAP, Memphis Community Against Pollution, while I was in Nashville building the Equity Alliance. So real recognized real from day one. Because here's what they don't want you to really ask when they talk about being effective. Effective at what exactly? Passing a bill means nothing if it's a watered down so far that it doesn't improve your life. If it ain't Medicare for all, I don't want it. If we ain't talking about raising the federal minimum wage to a livable wage, then I don't want it. If we ain't talking about lifting children out of poverty with the child tax credit, I don't want it. If we ain't talking about passing the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, then we wasting the good Lord's hot air. And if we ain't talking about ending big corporate money in politics, codifying Roe, expanding the courts, ending genocides and bombs in Iran, prosecuting Donald Trump and putting him under the jail, then I don't want it. So let's get real. In the age of Trump, you need more in your arsenal to survive in Washington than just a pen and policy. We need a fighter who has already proven he can meet the moment. That's Justin Pearson. Because, baby, let me tell you something. You can't legislate unshakable conviction. You can't legislate unapologetic courage. You can't legislate unspeakable joy. Some folks got it, and that's Justin Pearson. And lastly, here's the thing, y'all. I need y'all to really hear me on this one. Early voting started today. And so we are in the fourth quarter. Representative Pearson has brought us this far, but it's now our jobs to get him over the finish line. Governor Lee and Marsha Blackburn and, the rest of the GOP, you see, they done messed up thinking they can erase black votes in Memphis. So it's time to let them know. Hands off Memphis. So I'm gonna tell y'all what I told my constituents when they came after my district and cracked Nashville first 4 years ago. Give me my seat back. So Memphis, let's make them regret ever thinking about having the audacity to crack y'all into 3 districts. So repeat after me. When you go into the booth, you say, "Give me my seat back." That's right. Let's send Justin Pearson to Washington as our next Democratic congressman from District 9. Let's get it done, y'all.
Good evening. My name is Ayanna, and I'm here to talk to you about why I do this. I do this because I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off because Donald Trump signed an executive order that took away my grandson's citizenship. The Supreme Court saw fit to give it back, but because of that, I'm determined we won't have a blue wave in Tennessee. We need a blue tsunami. I canvass several days a week. I put out campaign signs, and that's why I need all of you to do the same thing. I need everybody to be as pissed off as I am. Some policy of Donald Trump's has probably affected you in a negative way. So pull your phone out, scan the QR code, sign up, come help us canvass. We'll be here at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. We need every door knocked on. We need to do this. We need to win this. And we don't need to just win District 9. We need to win 8 and 5 also. And if everybody will get out there and vote, we can do that. So go vote.
Hello, hello, hello. I am Dr. Kimberly Owens Pearson. I have the honor of being the mother of our future Congressman, Justin J. Pearson. And I would first just like to say thank you. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for showing your support. Thank you for being here to, this is amazing. Look at us. Look at this. This is amazing. And it shows that we are not going to sit on the sidelines and suffer silently. This shows that we have the courage to stand up. So how do we do that? You have to speak up. You have to show up. And you have to support with a dollar sign. All right? I come to ask you to support. Your donations support the fight. Your donations provide support for the signs, for the canvassing, for the going out. We now have 191 miles, 15 counties. So that's a lot of gas for a lot of people, because we are determined that what they did for bad gonna turn out for good. It was one seat, broke it up into 3. They cut my baby out and increased District 9, but we showing up. We showing up and we showing out. And we need your support. This is not a small feat every day. We're making signs, ordering signs. We are putting up materials. We're calling people. These programs and computer things, it's not free. It's not free, so we need you not to just say it, but show it as well. So support us with the dollar sign, and we're gonna win this. Because when we fight, we win. Justin J. Pearson for Congress! All right.
I love you. I love you so much. Give it up for my Dr. Mommy.
It is my pleasure to bring before you Congresswoman Summer Lee.
I'm gonna get this off right now. I was looking in the back, like I got a tight shot. I was like, I can't move around a lot, and I gotta hold this microphone. Memphis, how y'all feeling tonight? All right, that's the type of energy that we need right now. Let me tell you something. I wasn't even thinking about where I was going to be, so I'm going to ask your forgiveness that I would bring my jeans to the Lord's house. But listen, we're here to work. We're here to work, and it's my honor to be down here joining you all from Western Pennsylvania here down to Memphis, because I'm here ready to join you all, to join all of us in the fight for our lives. And when I say it's all hands on deck, this is why we have shown up with you all today. Memphis, I hope you know that you're at the epicenter. You're at the epicenter of a storm that's brewing all over this country. And I know it's a whole lot of people on the north and the west and in the coast who are looking at you and they're thinking that maybe that's a them problem. They're looking at the storm brewing right now, and it's like, it's okay because we have our own structures that will keep us warm and it will keep us dry. But what we know is so goes the South, so goes the rest of the country. So right now, anybody who is burying their head in the sand, or anybody right now who isn't looking here to Memphis or elsewhere in the South, are people who are not realistic about the country that it's our responsibility to build. So I'm here because I'm hoping that you all have the energy that we need, not just to take on the fascism that's just taking us and gobbling us all up, but that you're here ready to dream of what comes next and ready to build what comes next. Because we're not just here to stand against a thing. We're here because we're ready to build a thing. We're here because we're ready to take a stand, not just for the first time, for the last time. We're here to say that our country is ours to take. It's ours to make. It's ours to fight for. And where we start is by sending our strongest warriors right into the belly of the beast. So when Justin J. Pearson called me, I knew that it was the answer that we needed to get down here. I knew that this was the fight that was worth taking because you all have a fighter in Justin J. Pearson. Today when we got here, I'll tell you, because I know a lot of people think that, you know, if you live in the north or the south, or if you live in this district or that district, or this urban district or that urban district, that our lives are so different. But you know what? The first thing we did when we got here is we took a toxic tour. We went on a tour and we got to see Elon Musk's new pet project, and we saw we got data centers in Western Pennsylvania too. And then we saw your oil refinery, and I said, you know what, that also looks like Western Pennsylvania. And I saw and I heard from young people who have asthma. I heard from our aunties who said, you know what, enough was enough, and I couldn't stay seated no more. I had to get up and fight for environmental justice for this and the next generation. I said, that sounds like the aunties in my hometown. And I looked around and we saw corporations that didn't care very much about us. We got multinational, multi-billion-dollar corporations in our community too, but our roads aren't paved, and we got blight in our communities. What's the point of having these businesses and these corporations, but our own community can't breathe? It felt very familiar to me. So I'm saying that we need to send people to Congress who understand the lived experiences that you and I and we and us are going through. We need people in Congress who says, I don't care how much they're going to donate to me. I'm here for my people, and I won't be stopped, and I won't be bought by a check or a turkey. We need people right now who are ready to meet this moment in Memphis. I don't think I need to tell you all what the moment is. I know that Memphis knows what Jim Crow looked like. I know that Memphis knows what gerrymandering feels like. I know that Memphis knows what racism and classism looks like, and social injustice and environmental injustice. You here are at the crossroads of all of the things and all of the ills that we're experiencing in our society. Right now is a big moment. It's a big moment. But I'm here to tell you from Pittsburgh that we're ready for this moment. I know that Memphis is ready for this moment because Memphis has already been through this moment. You've already made it through this moment. Movements were already built here. We've already made it past the mountaintop from here in Memphis. So I know that you know what we need to do over the next month. I know you know what the role is right now. So I don't know if I need to tell you much, because you know what, before I start to wrap this thing up, I hear a lot of noise about the type of politicians. There's a lot of people who are, they can't fight fascism because they're too busy fighting progress. We got a lot of people who can't fight against corporations because they're too busy at the corporate dinners. But they want to tell you what it looks like to be successful. They want to tell you what real work looks like. They want you to believe that just because you're visible in your community that you're not working. You know what we need right now? I'm so tired. I was listening to the conversations before I got here. It is the time, the workhorse versus the show horse. You know what we need right now? I want my people to be in the streets working. I want my people to be in the streets working, and I want them to show their work. Because people across our country are tired. We're looking at the two parties and we're saying, how are either one of them going to meet the needs of 2026? And then onward, we got people who are saying, where do I fit in this system and these institutions that don't feel like they know me, don't understand what it feels like for me when I can't afford my gas. I don't need a white paper on affordability. I know too many people who are saying, I don't need charts and I don't need statistics when my family can't breathe. We're talking about the difference between Medicare for all and maybe next time. We're tired of the equivocating. We're tired of being told that there just isn't enough when we know from how much Elon Musk has, that Elon Musk himself has enough to provide all of the needs that we need in this community. We have to choose. Who are we here? Who are we fighting for right now? And I know that Justin J. Pearson, like my sisters Ayanna and AOC and the rest of us are in Congress, we know that we're here to fight for the people. We the people. And that is the type of energy, not that we need, but that you deserve and that you can have. They want you to feel discouraged. They drew those maps because they want you to be quiet again. They want you to go home and stay home because they want you to think, well, what difference will it even make? They, in fascism and authoritarianism and racism and environmental injustice and all the rest of the injustices, they need your consent to exist. They need our consent, and it's imperative right now that we do not give it. It's imperative right now that we fight to the bitter end, that we remember that we come from a lineage that saw harder fights, that saw darker days, that in our own DNA we already know how not just to survive, but to thrive and win. We have the blueprint right here. Don't let them make you believe it doesn't exist. Right now, not only can we take this situation that they gave us and build something so much better and so much more inclusive and so much bigger, we already know that there's no point of looking back anymore. Our destiny's not back there. But what we also know is that our permanent destiny is not just the conditions that we're living in right now. There is a tomorrow and the next year and the next election cycle to come. And the outcome of that will be determined by what we do here right now in Tennessee's 9th congressional district. What do we do to set the stage for future generations? Let me tell you, the United States is at one of its most important crossroads right now. One of its most important crossroads, and we can't afford any longer to be the United States of the North and the United States of the South. We can't afford to be the free states of the United States and the gerrymandered states. We can't afford to be the reproductive states of America and the black maternal mortality states of America. We can't afford to be the clean air communities and the overpolluted communities. We can't afford to be the 775 an hour states of America and the Elon trillionaire states of America. We can't afford to exist as if we are not all intertwined. Our liberation is intertwined together. And we need and deserve our elected officials who understand that and will never abandon that. Because there are so many incentives right now to do the same old, same old. We need to have people who know that the status quo is not life. The status quo is not our future. So I need you, Memphis, to help us send a real fighter. I need you, Memphis, to help us build real power. I want us here, and I'm here today because we need to build power from the mighty Mississippi in your district to the Monongahela in my district. We need to build it from the Appalachians over to the Colorado Rockies. We need a country that knows that if we do not lift the least of these, then those with the most also aren't healthy either. We need you to know that it's not North versus South, that if anybody would turn a blind eye to war in our South or war across and abroad, then you don't believe in humanity. Right now, we have decisions to make. Listen, I'm gonna get out of here because we got powerful speakers coming up. But I just want to say, we have a lot of people who are just hoping that we can just put our heads down and get back to a normal that did not work for Memphis. And that normal didn't work for Pittsburgh. And I know that that normal didn't work across this country. This is the moment and the movement for the working people. It's the moment and the movement for the multiracial, multi-generational coalition. It is the only way forward, and we must be relentless in building it, and we must be relentless in pouring into it, and we must be relentlessly accountable to it. Victory is only through our solidarity. Victory is only through our shared humanity and our shared liberation. And when we have done that, we will experience a joy and a freedom in this country that they thought and they told us was beyond our reality, but it is not. So Memphis, we have a role to play in what comes next, not just for the next 2 years, but for the next 200 years. And it starts right now. Send champions to Congress. Reject false dichotomies. Make sure that we are protecting our people and know that you have something to fight for, and there are people fighting with you. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for voting. Make sure you go home and that you tell 3, 5, 10, 50 people why you're here today, what you're fighting for today, that we will not surrender and that we do not consent. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley.
Memphis! Y'all look good. You know how we do. We don't never look like what we're going through. You all look good. Hello, family, and I do mean family because we are one human family. We are one movement family. And that is exactly why I came to Memphis from Massachusetts, because I came to see about my family. And so did you. Because you all could have been anywhere else today but here, but you chose to be here because you care about your neighbors. Because you know that our freedoms and our destinies are tied. I feel very comfortable in this faith house. I grew up in my granddaddy's storefront church. It was the foundation of my leadership journey, and it's very, very appropriate at this inflection point, not just for Memphis, not just for Tennessee, not just for the South, but for our nation, that we come to this faith house because throughout the fight and the work for justice, for civil rights, for human rights, we have come to church. We have come to church to lay our burdens down, to send our prayers up, to organize, to strategize, to share information, to renew our spirits. So today we come to church. Feels comfortable and familiar to me. It was where I first learned to trust my voice. It was there that I first learned what caretaking and community meant. As an usher or a nurse would bend to buckle my shoe or Vaseline an ashy elbow or knee. When I would get up to recite my chapter and verse, even if it was the shortest one in the Bible, Jesus wept and I would forget, they would say, "You've got this, baby." I landed in Memphis today thinking about our ancestors. The sacrifices they made, the dreams they carried, the prayers they sent up, the way they found a way to make $1 out of 15 cents. Just like all of you, just like all of us are doing right now. When it comes to gas, when it comes to groceries, when it comes to housing, when it comes to health care, when it comes to elder care, when it comes to child care, when it comes to education. You already know we find ourselves in the midst of challenging times. I know that I am preaching to the choir. But the reason I'm preaching to the choir is because I need the choir to sing. I need you to sing about the consequential moment we find ourselves in and how high these stakes are. I need you to sing to your neighbor about how important it is that we turn to each other instead of on one another. Together we are choosing community. Together we are choosing possibility. And my brother, Justin J. Pearson, knows something about that. This man is steady. And the people deserve a leader they can rely upon in these uncertain and chaotic times. Justin has shown up in the quiet moments for the neighbor in need. He shows up in the consequential moments when our rights are on the line. He shows up when the nation is watching Tennessee. He shows up in the trying moments when our hearts are weary. He shows up. Now, I ran for Congress 8 years ago because I believe that the people closest to the pain should be the closest to the power. And family, from Boston to Memphis, we know something about pain. My sister Congresswomen, Representative Ocasio-Cortez and Lee, from Pennsylvania to New York to Massachusetts to Tennessee, we know something about pain. Not unnaturally occurring pain, a manufactured pain. The type of pain that's codified in budgets and legislated. We know we're living in the aftermath of policies that don't center the people, that legislate hurt and harm. But if they can legislate hurt and harm, I believe we can and we must legislate healing, legislate justice, legislate restoration. That is the work of Justin J. Pearson, my brother in service, what he will do in the United States Congress. Because Justin believes in a just America, a righteous America, a kind America. He is an organizer, a husband, a dedicated legislator. He believes that health care is a human right. You know, some people think that's a radical notion, right? Well, call me radical. Call Justin radical then, because he believes that people should not have to live their lives under the burden of medical debt. He believes that we should all feel safe and welcome in our country and in our communities. He believes that our babies deserve to breathe clean air and drink clean water. You know, we're living in the midst of deeply consequential times, and there are many days in Congress that my faith is tested. But Justin J. Pearson renews my faith. He doesn't just espouse a faith, he practices it. He has been steady, he has been consistent. I look towards Tennessee and towards Justin J. Pearson as I look to the future, because he fights for the dignity of every life. He fights for the dignity of every parent. He fights for the dignity of every elder. He fights for every single one of God's children. Meanwhile, this is all happening against the backdrop of people legislating policy violence, legislating deservedness, legislating who is deserving of safety, who is deserving of peace, who is deserving of joy. But spending time in this community today, it is easy to see exactly why Justin is who he is. The soil he's rooted in is rich, y'all. Neighbors from every walk of life coming together to make the road a little bit easier. People of faith reaching across divides to press for peace. Elders standing up for their babies and children fighting for their parents' humanity. Justin is rooted because of you. And there is no doubt in my mind that this black man is deeply needed in the halls of Congress. His moral clarity, his conviction, his consistency. Now look, y'all, I know what the pundits respond and say the deck is stacked against us here in the Tennessee 9th. But let me tell you something, 8 years ago, the polls had me down 1 week out by 13 points, and we won by 18. And that is a testament to the power of the people and affirms that you cannot poll transformation. And transformation is afoot in Tennessee. Black folks, working families, people of good conscience, you know a little something about defying the odds. Count us down, but do not count us out. We will fight like lives depend on the outcome of this election, because they do. We will fight for our neighbors like they are our own family. We will show up time and time again, because, as I close, another world is possible. Pastor Stacy, New Direction Church, I know this is a praying church. There are people here who believe in the power of prayer. I do too. But we don't just pray for change. We march for change. We agitate for change. We protest for change. We organize for change. We vote for change. So we will keep on praying, but as the adage reminds us, when you pray, move your feet. When you pray, move your feet. And I need you to move your feet to the polls so we can win this seat and send a message to the nation that another world is possible. One where black boys grow up. One where black men grow old. One where home ownership is possible. One where voting rights are protected. One where the air is clean. One where the water is safe. One where immigrant neighbors are protected. Another world is possible, one that chooses people over profit, peace over war, freedom over fascism. Another world is possible where Justin J. Pearson is the congressman for Tennessee's 9th. Let's do this, family.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, AOC.
Hello, Memphis. How are we doing tonight? I'm here and we have about 1,000 people in this church here tonight. On a Friday night, not too bad. It's so good to see each and every one of you all today. Good evening. You know, it's so special to be here. This is my first time ever in Memphis. And I landed last night and I could just feel the wave of importance of this place wash over me. So much of when I started to think about my role and all of our role in the world as a young person, I thought about places like Memphis, genuinely and truly, because, you know, for all folks that may say, and can we please just hear it for our pastors and our speakers and our reverends, here at New Direction Christian Church. Thank you all so much. But you know, there's this conversation about Jesus being a socialist. And I listen to the Reverend's words, and you know, you hear the television turn on, and they're talking about this and that. But when I think about where my first political consciousness was formed, it actually didn't come from a book written by Marx. It came from watching what happened in Memphis, in Montgomery, and Selma, and Atlanta. I remember as a little girl, I read this children's book called The Watsons Go to Birmingham. And as a small child, I gained an understanding that our country was a source and a place and a site of not just great injustice, but great miracles. And when I think about the sacrifices that people have made for us to gather here in this church today, I know about the duty and feel filled with a sense of purpose about what we are here today together to accomplish. We're not here today by accident, Memphis. We're not here, each and every one of us in this room, by accident. So when I landed last night, I felt that wave. And I decided to pull up Dr. Martin Luther King's last speech about the mountaintop. Now, we know that he was a prolific writer, orator, of course, the leader of our nation. We learn from him about not just the dream, but the drum major instinct. And we learned about that mountaintop that he told us about the day before his life was taken from us. And he talked about that mountaintop. And I sat there and I listened to his words, and I wanted to share some of them with you all today. He said, "Something is happening in Memphis. Something is happening in our world. And you know, if I were standing at the beginning of time and the Almighty said to me, Martin Luther King, which age would you like to live in? Strangely enough, I would turn to the Almighty and say, if you allow me to live just a few years in the second half of the 20th century, I will be happy." And he said, now that's a strange statement to make, because the world is all messed up. The nation is sick. Trouble is in the land, confusion all around. That's a strange statement. But I know somehow that only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. And I see God working in this period of the century in a way that men in some strange way are responding. Now, I'm just happy that God has allowed me to live in this period to see what is unfolding. And I'm happy that he's allowed me to be in Memphis. And I feel the same way sharing this with you all tonight. Because we are here to pick up where King left off 58 years ago. He told us that night that we must develop a kind of dangerous unselfishness in order for us to prevail. Earlier today, we walked through and we saw what was happening here in Memphis. We sat at an intersection, and I could see on this side of the street a methane plant, on that side of the street, coal ash plant. You all know coal ash is more radioactive than nuclear waste. Over here, wastewater plant. Over there, the gray water plant facility from the new XAI data center. And all of this within 1 or 2 blocks of each other. I mean, I'm from New York. I say blocks. I don't know. I don't know. We share it out here. And the thing that we have to see is not just these facilities, but the human beings that surround them. Because outside of that, across the street from that, I saw little girls with asthma, their grandmothers with COPD, their inhalers and their chemotherapy. And who's paying for that? Not the folks requiring them to need it. This is the darkness. But this is what it takes for us to see the stars. And we have a star here in Memphis with Justin J. Pearson. Brothers and sisters, this responsibility now belongs to us. And that's exactly why we must send him to Congress. I think about this because 58 years ago, King was assassinated right here in Memphis. 58 years later, to the month, the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act. And 58 years later, you could set your watch to it. What was the first place they went after to redraw the seat? Memphis. That wasn't an accident either. That was not an accident either. And the efforts that it took for them to get to that moment, we must double as we descend here on Memphis to organize and care for our brothers and sisters. We cannot afford to leave Tennessee behind. We cannot afford to leave Kentucky behind, Alabama behind, Mississippi behind, Georgia behind, South Carolina behind. There is no country when we are split apart. About a month or two ago, we were in Montgomery, Alabama. Sister Pressley and I were in Montgomery, Alabama. And one of the things that we said was that it is time for the North to roll up to the South. We will not be chased out of places anymore, brothers and sisters. It is going to take all of us together, rejecting the separation, for us to organize and speak life into one another, because we will see the day where we will turn the crooked path straight, Memphis. Justin is a fighter. He's an organizer. He is the son of a preacher and a teacher who worked themselves out of minimum wage jobs to provide for their 4 sons. And 5 sons. My goodness, I'm sorry about that. 5 sons. And he is the right person for the job. Because long before Justin ever stood on the floor of the Tennessee House fighting for dignity, he grew up in southwest Memphis, the most polluted area of the city. He saw firsthand the effects of growing up in a neighborhood that everyone had written off. The rising cancer rates, the children almost born with asthma. So when an oil company planned to push a crude oil pipeline through a historically black neighborhood, putting an entire community's health and drinking water at risk, Justin refused to stay silent. He went door to door. He packed public meetings with neighbors. And against all odds, together with the people of this incredible city, they forced two, not one, but $2 billion corporations to abandon their polluting projects. That's what Memphis does. It rises up and it fights back. We cannot listen to the siren call of those voices that say what we do doesn't matter, that we don't matter. Oftentimes, people try to accuse folks of us of being something like too woke. It's because they don't like when we wake up. Because when people wake up, Memphis, we stand together. When people wake up, they stand for their wages. When people wake up, they kick out the corporations giving us cancer. When people wake up, we demand that billionaires pay their fair share. When we wake up, our schools get better. When we wake up, we fight for guaranteed health care for every American. When we wake up, we realize all that money we're spending on bombs abroad could be spent on schools right here at home. So yeah, they're calling us too woke because we're realizing that the math isn't adding up here in America. And it is long past time that we help our brothers and sisters wake up to. We saw this when Justin demanded action on gun violence, and the Republicans responded by expelling him from office. And then you sent him right back to serve in the Tennessee House. You see, Justin's story has never been just about one man. It has always been the story of Memphis. And this election is the latest chapter of that lineage. Because after the Supreme Court weakened one of the Voting Rights Act's most important protections, this was the first district that was torn apart after that decision. Tennessee's only majority black congressional district. Republicans in this state and across the country want to overturn everything that black political power has made possible. Because when black Americans had their right to vote protected, we established health care, Medicare, Medicaid, the Clean Air Act. They know that when black Americans exercise political power, they deliver progress for every American. And they believed that they could weaken the political power of the black community here. Instead, they awakened a movement. You see, it's very clear to me that the people turning back the clock on our rights are afraid of Memphis. They're afraid of this city's legacy of fighting back, of their hunger for justice. They believe that if they broke apart this city, they could break apart its political power. They believe that if they changed the map, they could change the future. But they were wrong. New Direction Christian Church, we know that what man meant for evil, God meant for good. Every time someone tries to diminish the voices of Memphis, this city finds another way to speak. Every attempt to silence becomes another reason to organize and a magnet for more to come. How many people here are from the state of Tennessee and Memphis? Right around here, make some noise. Now let me ask some questions. How many people here are not from Tennessee? We've got some folks here. We've got people who are answering the call. Because Memphis, we want you to know that you are not alone. I know that we've got some folks from New York that made the trip to come down here as well. This is what it's going to take. Because we saw the flares have been going up. The call has gone out. The call has gone out in Montgomery. The call has gone out in Atlanta, in Selma, in Memphis, saying it is time to come. And people are starting to answer the call to support your all's leadership and example. And it starts in small actions like today, but it's not going to stop today. Because again, what began as an attempt to weaken this power has become an opportunity to strengthen it. What was intended to divide has become an opportunity to organize. What was intended to silence has become an opportunity to speak louder than ever before. And tonight, we have the opportunity to finish a story that others thought that they had written and carved up. They think they drew a Republican district. What they don't know is that they just woke a lot of people up. So we're not rallying today for the primary, brothers and sisters. We are here for the general election. We are here to knock every door and make those holding that pen of injustice, carving up that map, regret the day they ever dipped the ink in the well. It starts with Brother Justin J. Pearson. It does not end with Brother Justin J. Pearson. Are we ready, Memphis? It is my honor to introduce to you my brother and our next congressman, Representative Justin J. Pearson.
Who burned up? Who burned up? I said, who burned up? Memphis, y'all looking good, baby. Tennessee in the house. This movement for justice is in the house. And we can't be stopped. Wow. I am overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. Look at us. Look at us. We in here. Please give it up for Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, Congresswoman Summer Lee, and how about Congresswoman AOC? Right here in Tennessee. We are so fortunate to have such extraordinary leaders in our country for such a time as this, who are willing to speak truth while in power, willing to stand up when it is not comfortable, willing to do and say the hard things when other folks won't. Those are the types of leaders that we need in Washington, D.C., and we need some of them to be going to the U.S. Senate. And at least one of them better be president of the United States of America. I want to thank my amazing family who's here, my amazing wife who is celebrating our 1-year anniversary in 2 days. As my legal, my esquire, my best friend, and to my amazing parents, Dr. Kimberly Owens Pearson, to Reverend Jason C. Pearson Sr. Y'all give it up to my parents, they made me. literally, into the person that I am, to my oldest brother, Keyshawn Pearson. Give it up for Keyshawn, who's standing in the gap for each and every one of my beloved brothers. And to my uncles, aunties, cousins who are here. Yeah, I see you. Standing with me, I appreciate you so much. To Latrice and Asia, where are they? Latrice is back here. Asia, you got some uncle babies hiding with you. Fat Daddy, Aiden, I'll say your government name. To Aiden, Tristan, and TJ, I am so proud of you all as your uncle. They are amazing nephew sons, and they have the best moms and bonus moms in the world. Give it up for black moms. I love and appreciate y'all so much. To America's best campaign team, JJP for Congress, and the 100 volunteers who made today possible. Thank you all so much, today and tomorrow, because half of y'all need to come canvass. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., I'll meet you in the parking lot. And to the angel of his house, and who is an amazing prophet, who is an amazing leader, and who is a beacon of hope during dark times and difficult times, the Reverend Dr. Stacy Spencer. God bless you, and thank you so much for being who you are. And to this amazing New Direction staff and team that has put on one of the largest political rallies in Memphis history. It is good for us to be here. I stand before you as Representative Justin J. Pearson, a fourth-generation Memphian, a seventh-generation Tennessean, whose family and ancestors have never quit striving to make their lives and the lives of their children better. Today, we are in the fight of our lives to make this district, our state, and this nation better for ourselves and for those who will come after us. See, I love Tennessee, and I love these United States of America because I know that according to most statisticians, I should not be here before you, but I am. See, my mother and father had their first child, my oldest brother, Keyshawn, when they were just 15 and 16 years old. They'd have two more boys, Jason II and Tim Pearson, God rest his soul, before I was born, when they were 20 and 21. See, they got told that they would not accomplish much in this life as teenage parents. And they got told they would be relegated to poverty and inopportunity as they walked Westwood High School with two boys. But they had some praying mothers. Mothers who'd been born into racist segregation in the South. The South that was filled with for whites and for colored signs. Mothers who lived in Westwood, one of the most segregated communities in Memphis and Shelby County. Mothers who had endured difficult divorces and still raised 5 and 6 children respectively. See, my grandmama Gwen and grandmama Pearson were true black Southern Christian matriarchs who believed the scriptures that if God be for us, it doesn't matter if every white supremacist in the Tennessee General Assembly is against us. And that nothing can separate us from the love of God that's found in Christ Jesus, no matter what they call us, no matter where they redline us, no matter how they try and lynch us, no matter the occupations they throw our way. Grandmama said, if God be for us, doesn't matter who or what is against. Doesn't matter if he's a multi-millionaire giving himself $1 million in this campaign. If God be for us. Those weren't just words to them. They were affirmations. They were promises that were whispered into my parents' ears and our hearts. That's why today those same teenage parents were able to lift their sons out of poverty. That's why those same teenage parents were able to move us from living in apartments and townhomes that were roach infested and termite infested to being parents who both graduated from college, both earned master's degrees, and my mama just got her doctorate degree in education. That's what happens when we press toward the promise of better tomorrows. See, I come from people who do not quit when things get hard, who do not break but persevere through the storms and still fight from the bottom. And that's our story, Tennessee. We've been at the bottom for too long. The same people and party have been in power for years, and they don't care about us. The establishment of both parties have gotten richer while we've gotten poorer. They've gotten their names in lights while we don't have money for light bills. They've kept us looking left and right instead of looking up at the people who are profiting off of our pain. So let us be honest about how we got here. What's now the most partisan branch of government, the United States Supreme Court, gutted the Voting Rights Act of 1964, an act for which our people fought for, organized for, and some gave their life for. And immediately, after one of the most detrimental decisions of the Supreme Court, less than 2 months ago, Donald Trump and Bill Lee hatched a plan with some racist Republicans that they would break our majority black district into thirds, diluting our political power, taking away what they thought would be Memphis's ability to have representation in the United States Congress. See, they used race, which they've always done, believing that racism and white supremacy would divide us and distract Tennesseans away from the billionaires and the big corporations stealing from all of us. Believing that the divisionist policies of yesteryear were enough to stop us from envisioning the future we deserve. See, they thought their racism would break us down, make us bend, but they don't know our history. If 407 years since white lion came upon these shores, if 407 years of oppression could not break us, if 407 years of an unjust caste system could not cripple our ability to hold hope in our hearts and in our feet, if 407 years of an unfulfilled promise could not prevent us from still believing and loving this country, then I assure you, breaking and cracking up our district into thirds is not going to stop us now. We are in a historic struggle for civil rights, for voting rights, and for human rights. I've traveled all 15 counties, from Memphis to Giles to Murray to Williamson. And we are uniting in our fight against the billionaire class on behalf of the working class. This is our fight and our moment. And we know how to meet the moment. When big oil companies built or proposed to build that $1 billion crude oil pipeline, calling us the path of least resistance, we fought back. And at the height of a pandemic, we organized rallies, 9 of them. We knocked hundreds of doors across the city with 2 masks on. We created legal communications and political strategies. We followed local leaders in Boxtown and Westwood, like the Bookers and Sarah Gladney and Mama Easter, Scotty Fitzgerald and Clyde Robinson, to defend the land and to protect the water. We built relationships across class and across race, across geography, building the solidarity dividend that Heather McGhee writes about. And together, we won. And when hundreds of people have been killed by homicide in this city that we call home, and a mass shooting took the lives of 6 people in Nashville, 3 of them just 9 years old. Some folks got silenced by the NRA, and other folks got silently complicit in the plans of the status quo. But we stood up and protested the inaction of the legislature. And I became one of the Tennessee 3 because I believe every child deserves to grow up and deserves to grow old and deserves to be safe in their classroom, on the sidewalk, in their neighborhood, in every city, in every state in the United States of America. We organized and got the governor of this state to sign an executive order mandating that anyone who purchases a firearm has to get a background check. That's what we've been able to do. We don't quit. And because we didn't quit, we got appointed back by the county commission. And then we got reelected in the primary with 90% of the vote. And 2 years ago, before it was on the news every single day, we got in a fight with the richest person on paper in the world, because we believe that our clean air, our clean water, and our clean soil is worth more than every dollar and cent he has. Elon came into our community without the consent of our community to build toxic data centers. The president, other elected officials rolled out the red carpet for him, but the people in our district knew better. We knew that we would be exploited. So we fought back against the largest hyperscale data center in the world. We forced them to get permits they didn't want to get. And now we're suing them in Mississippi for 50 illegal turbines that they have there. Because whether you're in Memphis or Mississippi or Massachusetts or Pennsylvania or New York, you deserve to breathe clean air. You deserve to drink clean water. You deserve to plant in clean soil. We can't quit fighting. Because y'all, these data centers are dangerous. They're taking our fresh drinking water, using it to cool computers whose main job is to replace our jobs. Just think about that. They're using the resource that we need to live to cool their computers to make billions of more dollars while making each and every one of us unemployed. That's what we are up against. And many folks thought that the fight in Memphis was in vain. They said the Chamber of Commerce is too powerful. Other elected officials had already quit. But what we have seen now is in urban centers and rural towns across Tennessee and the country, people are taking the model made in Memphis to fight back. And we're seeing moratoriums and the banning of data centers all across the United States of America. That's what happens when you stand up when it's not popular. When you stand on the side of right and righteous. You might not win the fight you wanted to, but you can help other people in the fight. You can help other people in the struggle, for the struggle for justice is always, 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 always worth it. And now it's time for us to take our fight to the U.S. Congress. The truth is, life is too hard for too many people. For 99.9% of us, in fact, inflation is high, groceries are high, gas is high, but wages are low. The billionaires keep profiting off of our pain while the rest of us are still struggling. They've rigged the system to keep us in more debt, fighting for a few pennies, while they exploit us and make billions and trillions off of us. We're in another endless war, so warmongers in the military-industrial congressional complex can make more billions of dollars while we suffer for resources right here at home. Rural folks in Pulaski and Hamburg are dealing with the closure of 16 rural hospitals since 2005 right here in Tennessee. 21% of black African American people have experienced felon disenfranchisement, so they are not able to currently vote in our state. Tennessee farmers are in billions of dollars worth of debt that they will never get out of. And last year, we saw the highest number of family farms close on record. The Farm Bill has been designed for the monopolies of those like Monsanto against the everyday people in Savannah and Bedford County. And families in Murray, like Memphis, are struggling with a minimum wage of $7.25 or maybe $10, where they're being kicked out and not able to afford the $800 in rent that it costs. They thought they were dividing us and separating us, but what is really shown is our issues are deeply intertwined and connected. And we have to realize the people on the other side of this fight, they want to divide us. They want us to find something to hate in our neighbors. Neighbors who really are just struggling like us. Because they know if we can get distracted by their red herrings, looking to folks and say, oh, they're on the right, or oh, they're on the left, or oh, they're this, or oh, they're that. If we can get distracted in that way, we never pay attention to the billionaires who are hurting and harming all of us and contributing to all of our suffering. They are robbing us in our face. They're not hiding it. And it is going to take a movement to defeat them. Y'all, that's why they changed the districts. They didn't redistrict Memphis into thirds because they loved hardworking farmers and working class people from Shelby County to Williamson County. They did it in an effort to keep their power and control. They're seeking to entrench white supremacy in the state of Tennessee. They did it to dismantle democracy and this republic into their own gain, and to push forward whatever policies and legislation billionaires, BlackRock, Big Pharma, Big Tech, and Big Oil want for them to do. But they didn't count on this. They didn't count on this being an opportunity for us to build this movement for justice rooted in love. They didn't count on this being an opportunity for us to challenge the status quo in a way that we've never challenged it before in Tennessee. They didn't count on this black folk and white folk, richer folk and poorer folk getting together to stand up and to fight back against a system that's been designed against us. They didn't expect this. And for the first time in a long time, I'm inviting you to go to the ballot box, not against somebody, not against something, but go for something. This campaign is for us, the 99.9% of us. If you are not a billionaire, you are one of us. Because ultimately, this race is about a new vision for our state and for our country. The old vision and the old plans have gotten us to where we are. How many people want things to stay the same for us? Does anybody? Are you ready to build and fulfill a new vision for Tennessee and America? Are you ready for an economy that works for all of us, not just the billionaire few? Where we tax the richest people in this country, raise the minimum wage to $25, stop pretending it's normal for CEOs to make 900 times the median employee? Are you ready to fulfill a vision where healthcare is for everybody? Where we pass Medicare for all? Where we give mental health care, eyeglasses, where we give dental care, orthodontia to everybody? Are you ready to fulfill a vision where clean air, clean water, and clean soil is for everybody, not just the rich and the powerful? Are you ready to make sure our kids are able to be safe in their schools and in their homes? Are you ready to fulfill the vision where tax dollars build hospitals, not bomb innocent children halfway across the world, perpetuating genocide? And are you ready to get big money out of politics and return this democracy to we the people? Look, they want us to believe these things are impossible. It's part of their game. They want us to believe that it is so hard that we don't even try. But we are going to prove them wrong because we're not asking about what's possible. We're fighting for what is necessary. It is necessary that every worker in this country have a good union job and can afford to live without worry. It is necessary that housing and health care are treated as human rights. It is necessary that we put more money in your pockets and we pave new roads and build new pathways to opportunity and have a federal jobs guarantee that deals with the displacement from artificial intelligence, automation, artificial general intelligence, the 15 to 30% of the global workforce that is going to be impacted. We're doing this because it is necessary that a kid, whether they be in Westwood or Whitehaven or Pulaski, be able to go to college or get a trade without $100,000 worth of debt. It is necessary. It is necessary that every family in this district, whether you've been in Tennessee for 7 generations like mine or 7 months, can look at their children and see a better future. But there's only one way for this to happen. It's going to take us. This vision, for it to be fulfilled, will require something of all of us. I know a lot of you donated today. That's a step. I need at least 100 of y'all to show up tomorrow to knock doors. That's another step. It is going to require all of us to fulfill this vision. So here's the goal. We've got to knock 200,000 doors across 15 counties. Are you ready to knock some doors? We've got to make 100,000 phone calls across 15 counties. Are you ready to make some phone calls? We are going to knock every door, walk every neighborhood, and call every voter, because this time, this moment is all that we've got. And the people we've been looking for are right here in this room. You know, they forgot something when they drew those maps. They forgot that the Constitution doesn't start with we, the politicians. It doesn't start with we, the billionaires. It starts with the 3 most important words ever written in our founding documents. We, the people. We, the people. We, the people. We, the people. We are going to ensure that one job is enough so that parents can spend time with their children rather than spending 60 and 70 hours a week working just to keep the lights on. We, the people who are going to defend our schools and give teachers a raise finally. We who are going to fight for working class people to have an opportunity to own their homes in this country and stop private equity from buying up our neighborhoods. We who will fight to make the ideals of this nation a reality, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all people are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We, the people who will not bow down, who will not be broken, who will not break, because we will fight with everything that we've got until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. We, let's give this thing everything we've got. I love you. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. We don't be deterred. Don't get weary in well-doing, for we will reap if we faint not. God bless you. I love you.
Ain't no river